Hey everybody, this is Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, April 5th, 2021. We're in the first day of the new trading week, and we are in the final hour of the current trading day. The final hour of each day is the most important time for me. That is when I like to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions. And I say this because at the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in with the most size. They're dealing with the most money, very smart people, best technology, best information. And I consider the price that they are moving it to at the end of the day the most valid price to make your buying and selling decisions for your swing trades. And that is why primarily I make my decisions at the end of the day. So thank you all for coming today. It's nice to see everyone. I always look forward to this time of the day. I'm very appreciative that we have such a great group. So many people that contribute to the group, and I just consider this a great group, and you my friends. So thank you for coming today. So currently, big day in the market. The Dow Jones is up 336 points, up 1%. The NASDAQ is up 216 points, up 1.6%, and the S&P is up 52 points, up 1.32%. So the plan for today, first of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we are going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did not have any day trades today. Had some issues with my broker and couldn't switch from account to account. So I thought, I won't stress about it, and so I didn't take any day trades today. After that, we are going to go over to the board. If you're a current student of mine or a past student of mine, you're able to put your quotes or your trades up on the board. So we're going to go over there and take a look and see how those are doing. I see a little red, I see a little green, but more green than red, so that's good. So we'll take a look at that. After that, we're going to talk about trader psychology. Most important part of the podcast, in my opinion, because how you handle your emotions is the most important skill in trading. Putting together a trading plan, trading plan, all very important. You have to learn how to do it. But at the end of the day, you have to follow your trading plan. And that comes back to your psychology and whether or not you can follow the plan. So I always think it's helpful for me. I hope that it's helpful for you. So we'll go over that. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a trade. The first is I need to have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames, indicators like MACD, RSI readings, ATR channels, moving averages, V1, V2 entries. I look at these as groups of buyers coming to the market, and you'll put yourself in the best position to have a profitable trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. That being said, requirement number 2 is you have to have a good risk to reward ratio. So, you can have a really good combination or confluence of indicators, but you also need to have a good risk to reward ratio based upon some valid support below you and valid and likely resistance above you. If I'm risking $100, I need to be able to make 200 or more to the upside to make it worthwhile to take. And then number 3 is kind of a hodgepodge, but position size correctly based upon volatility. Take a few moments before you take a trade. Make sure it's a good trade, that it has a good risk to reward ratio. Keep in mind how many correlated positions you have. Are you just adding another stock that's in the same industry as stocks you already have? You're increasing your risk. I think it's a good idea to get outside of equity sometimes, like gold, bonds, silver, and the dollar. So with that said, with those 3 requirements, I do have some end of day trades that I'm going to take a look at. Some candidates, we'll go through those, fine tooth comb. We'll look at multiple time frames and look at risk to rewards. And if I find something at the end of the day that looks good, I will go ahead and buy it after the market closes. If anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to clarify anything that I've discussed today. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at before the close of the market, just go ahead and put them in the live stream and put an emoji by it so that I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if you are a current or past student and you have any new additions or subtractions to the board, if you could please wait till the end of the day so I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, pressure's off, and then we'll take as much time as we need to get those all updated. Okay, so I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who is here today. Dan is here. Happy Monday, Greg and everyone. Thank you, Dan. It's good seeing you. Mamal is here. Hello, Mamal. Nice to see you. Hope you are having a nice day. David says, good afternoon, Gregorian traders. Hello, David. Nice to see you, sir. Hope you and the family are doing well. Thank you for coming. Lava is here. Lava says, hi, everyone. Hello, Lava. Good to see you, my friend. Quad says, happy Monday, Greg and group. Hello. Good to see you, Quad. Hope you're doing well. Tracy is here. Hello, Tracy. Good to see you. Tracy says, hello, everyone. Hello to you. Paxton's with you. Please give him my best. Jonathan is here. Evening, Greg and group. Hello, Jonathan. Nice to see you. And thank you for such a great lesson on Sunday. Jonathan, I had a lesson, and I'll tell you what, Jonathan is one sharp dude for sure. Frank is here. Good to see you, Frank. Hope you are doing well, sir. Hope you had a nice long weekend. Lava says CMI returned to value, sideways motion, V2, 50 RSI was resistance on Thursday, but seems to be acting as support today. Wednesday's big red bar is just barely taller than 1 ATR and came on average volume. Well, I am sure proud of you, Lava. I really am, for taking this so seriously, and your analysis has been great. Let's take a look. CMI. Oh man, I always feel like I'm the Scrooge, but so listen. Well, we did close below, so it is a higher low V1. The day one bar of the V2 is a little larger than 1 ATR. That is true. It is a V2. It went under 50, over 50. So really not bad, but if I were to be looking to buy this, I would definitely want to make sure this is over 50 RSI at the close. Let's look at the weekly. The weekly's holding the 5 EMA. It's not bad. My only thought is that we did have kind of a big down bar, and we rallied right exactly to 50% of that, and that's where we stopped. It'd be better if we could get above that 50% mark on that day one bar. And if I did take the trade, obviously I would go halfway the washout bar right here would be my stop. So that's kind of my analysis on that trade. But the big down bar did come on some pretty strong volume as well. Miko says, good afternoon, Greg and all. Hello, good to see you, Miko. Sebastian is here. Howdy, listening. Chat soon. Okay, bud, I got your text. I replied, and yes, definitely let's get together. Good to see you, Sebastian. Domankos, did I say that right? Dom, can I call you Dom? Thank you for coming by today. It's nice to see you. I did get your message, and I am going to reply to that over on Facebook. So glad that you purchased the course. I hope you're finding it interesting and helpful. And if you have any questions for me about anything in the course, feel free to ask, okay? Lilia is here. Hello, Lilia. Nice to see you. Hope you had a nice weekend with the dogs. And Lilia says, hi, Greg, and hello, everyone. And Dom says, hello, Gossett. Hello to you. All right. Well, should we get going? Let's go. All right. So Jonathan and I did buy Berkshire Hathaway on the daily time frame return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside, and a V1 entry to the upside. We bought it at 250.86. Moved up nicely. I always take profits on the way up. I got out a half here because we moved to the 1.5 ATR trailing stop level. Then we got to close below the previous day's low. So I sold half, but not all. I'm glad I kept the other half because we've had another up leg here. I did hit 2 profit targets today at 260.20 and at 262.53. Currently, from entry to exit, or entry to current price, up 4.24%. Budweiser, all right. Okay, I bought Budweiser here at 62.91, at 64.18. I did buy it on a monthly time frame, so this is going to be a longer term time frame for sure. I bought this with a higher low V2 on the monthly. I position size differently because the value of the 2 ATR on the monthly is much larger, therefore my share size is going to be smaller, but not bad, up 2.12% from entry. And I know that we have myself, Jonathan, Frank, Gary, and David in this trade as well. So that one's doing pretty well so far. Clover, Johan, Gary, Kamal, and myself did buy Clover. We had a false breakout to the downside and a V2 when we closed above the 5 EMA. Bought it at 757. Went down Thursday and right back up. It's at 757, so completely break even so far on the trade. My stop on this is halfway of the washout bar. My stop is about 708, so about 49 cents below me, but so far nothing that I'm worried about here. Break even, MACD's positive, we're back in the value zone, but you know, steady as she goes here. GPN, all right, so Lilia, Frank, and I bought GPN on Thursday, last Thursday, with a 520 crossover and a V2 and a false breakout to the downside. Bought it at 207.72. It's currently 210.35. Did hit 1 profit target today at 209.85. It's up 1.31% today. Light is a trade that I took with Lilia on the weekly bars with a return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside, V1, bought at 91.74. It's currently 93.74. It is up 1.26% today, and I guess I'm up about the same on the trade. 2.3% on the trade, roughly. So these are weekly bars. I make my end of bar decisions on a Friday if it's a weekly bar, because that's the last day of the bar. But that one's up nicely as well. Netflix. Tracy and Jonathan and I did buy Netflix with this intraday rejection of the 200. This is a deep dip buy. I bought it at 511.81. It had a good risk to reward ratio. I bought it at 511.81, and it's just taken off ever since we bought it. No profit targets today on this trade, but currently this trade is up 5.39%. So congratulations to Tracy and Jonathan and myself. The Qs, Frank, David, and Steve bought the Qs. Frank, David, and I bought the Qs back here with a false breakout to the downside and a V2. Bought it at 313.82, moved sideways, came up, rejected the 50, so I got out of half of my position, but obviously glad I kept the other half because this is up 2.2% just today, and it is up 5.23% on the trade. Now, Steve also took Qs, but he took them on the 31st when the 5 crossed over the 20. That's a 520 crossover, and obviously he is up on that trade as well. So congratulations, Frank, Steve, David, and myself. SPY. I do trade the overnight SPY trade. As you know, every day at the close, I buy the SPY, ticker symbol SPY. I bought it at 461 cents. not used to talking about the SPY in terms of 400s, but I bought it at 461 cents at the close on Thursday, held it over the weekend, sold it first thing this morning at the open at 403.49. So real close to $3 gap up. And so this is great. Had a couple good, nice gap ups on the SPY. But again, I buy the SPY at the close every day. I hold it overnight. I sell it first thing the next morning at the open. SSO, Tracy, David, and myself did have a nice return to value, false breakout to the downside, and a V1. I bought it at 98.93. This has been a monster trade. This is the double leverage SPY. Bought it at 98.93, hit 2 profit targets just today. So as it moves up, I always want to sell into strength. We are at a 68.20 RSI. We did get as high today as 68.88, so we have not reached or rejected the 70 RSI level, but whenever I get above 65 RSI, then I will get out of everything. If I get a close below, if it doesn't get to 70, if it goes down, I will get out if I get a close below the 5 EMA. But currently this trade is up 7.86%. All right, I saved the worst for last. Lilia, we got hammered on this one today. I like the trade. I shorted Walmart yesterday with Thursday with 3 rejections of the 50 and a V1 to the downside. I shorted at 137.79 and I hit my emergency stop. That's the maximum allowed that I'm allowed to lose on any one trade. So, you know, I was having a call with Jonathan over the weekend and we were talking about emergency stops, and they don't hit very often. In my experience, about 5% of the time, but this was one of those times, and it did. And, you know, I got out right near the top and it's come down, but what do you do? I mean, you know, you have to follow your rules. If you don't have rules in trading, there's really nothing that you have. And so you need them. And so anyway, this was a 3.13% loss on Walmart, and I'm already out because if I ever hit my intraday stop, if I hit my emergency stop, I have to get out immediately. I do not wait for the end of the day. So I have already cleared out of this one as well. Dom says you can call me Dom or Dominic. Sounds good. Nigma is here. Good to see you, Nigma. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Steve Burns is here. Nice to see you, Steve. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here. Very sorry to hear about the passing of your father, Steve. I read that on Facebook. And so anyway, wish you peace, my friend. And I hope you're hanging in there. And like I said, it's always an honor and a privilege to have you here, Steve. And I was thinking about you this weekend a lot. So hope you're doing okay. Steve says, I'm watching Tesla, FCX, NVIDIA, and UTZ. All right, let me write those down. And we'll take a look at those. Oh, GN, RC, Roku, and AGQ could be exits for me today. Okay, well, you just let me know. Gary says, hello, Greg and group. Hello, Gary. Good to see you, bud. Frank has a poem for us. Let me copy this and so I can post that later. Take a penny, leave a penny, reads the sign at the store. That's good advice to traders who keep score. Losses will happen, and what is more, the smaller the better keeps you on the trading floor. Oh, that's fantastic, Frank. Let me read it one more time. Take a penny, leave a penny, reads the sign at the store. That's good advice to traders who keep score. Losses will happen, and what is more, the smaller the better keeps you on the trading floor. That's right. You want to try to keep those losses small. That is the entire key to trading, and let those winners run. But thank you, Frank. Appreciate that, my friend. Yavar says, hello, everyone. Good to see you, Yavar. Dan is here. Frank, nice one, 100%. Gary says, Steve Burns, sorry for your loss. Miko says, sorry to hear this, Steve. Sending my condolences. David says, Apple 520 crossover and also cross above the 50 RSI. Tell you what, I'm going to put this over here. Apple, FCX, NVIDIA, UTZ, UTZ. I already have that. And Apple. All right, good. All right. Well, speaking of, let's start off and take a look at your current positions. Johan, Kamal, and David did buy DocuSign with a deep dip of a close under the 250, over the 250, bought at 204.40. It's currently 205.66. Excuse me, down a little bit on the day, but still up on the trade so far for Johan, Kamal, and David. Edit. Kamal and Johan had a nice trade on Edit with a false breakout to the downside and V1 at 40.50. It's currently 43.15, up 0.75%. So up on the day and up on the trade. Light, we discussed this before, but Gary sold put spreads on Light. The $80 77.50s expiring April 16th. So it has to close above $80 by April 16th in order for Gary to make the money. It's at $93.70, so he has about $13.70 in protection, which is nice. So I'm sure that is nicely in the money. Okay, here we go. Mamal had a beautiful deep dip buy with the intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average, bought here at 53.50. Great risk to reward ratio. Just took off like a rocket ship. Moved 1.5 ATRs from entry, had a close below the previous day's low, sold half because this was a little bit of a precarious bar, a little bit of a warning sign, but she also kept half, and this has moved up nicely. It's up 0.97% today, and from entry to current price, up 16.36%. So congratulations. Lemonade, Lilia, Kamal, and Johan did buy Lemonade at 89.50. Double bottom, bullish divergence, V1, bullish engulfing bar, closed back up into the value zone, plus over the 5 EMA, bought it at 89.50. It's 92.19. It's down 3.31% today, but still up on the trade. GNRC, Steve bought GNRC at 329.49 with a 520 crossover. It's currently 326.54, so it is up on the day, but a little down on the trade. Roku, Steve bought Roku at 304.53. It's currently 329.50, so really nice trade for Steve on this. It is down a little bit today, but it is nicely up on the trade, almost 8%. PKI. All right. Okay. So Kamal, Frank, David, and Steve bought this. I believe Kamal bought this back here at 126.60 with the close under, back over the 200 and a V2. Kamal added on Thursday. Steve bought it Thursday at 129.70 with the 520 EMA crossover. It's currently 130.25. So Steve is in the money, Kamal's in the money, Frank's in the money, Dave's in the money. That's how it should be. NVAX. All right. So Frank bought NVAX all the way back here at 135. More than doubled from his entry price. Sold 90% up here. Been kind of a wild ride ever since that, but Frank got the meat of the deal up here when he sold 90% at more than a double, and he just kept a 10% trailer. So down a little bit today, but still beautifully and nicely up on the trade. So Steve bought AGQ, deep dip buy, under 30, over 30, or at least a bounce at the 30 on AGQ at 39.68. It's 42.33. It is down 1.14% today, but Steve is up on the trade 6.8% with the double leverage silver AGQ. TMO, Lilia bought TMO here at 446.61, deep dip buy, close back over the 200-day. It's at 464.38. It's up 1.78%, and Lilia is nicely up on this trade, 3.93% roughly. Fastly, Gary and Kamal bought Fastly at 65.06. It's currently 69.38. It is down a little on the day, but still nicely up on the trade for Gary and Kamal. JP Morgan, Johan bought JP Morgan at 152.60. It's currently 153.30. Is down a little bit today, but it is up on the trade, which is the most important. Riot, Gary sold credit spreads on Riot, the 45, 42, 50s, $70 per contract. Essentially what this means, by April 16th, this has to close above $45. It's $57, so he has 13, 45, $12 protection. This is up 9.69% today. Nice crossover, all sorts of stuff. So this is looking good for his credit spreads. BYD. All right, so we have Tracy and Paxton bought BYD back here. I don't know why I don't have the lines. Right about $47. I know they sold half at $58.18. It's currently $61.61. It is up on the day, a little bit of a reversal, but beautiful trade for Tracy and Paxton. TQQQ, Steve had a beautiful, unbelievable trade on TQQQ with a 520 crossover, bought at 95.49. It's currently 101.67. Steve had a 6% gain just today. So congratulations, Steve. Very happy for you with that 520 cross on TQQQ. VRM, Steve also bought VRM on Thursday with the 520 cross at 39.18. It's 40.62, up 3.57%. So beautiful day for Steve on this one as well. Congratulations, Steve. And lastly, Amazon. I have this up here. I can't remember why now. Oh, I think Mamal took it on Thursday around 31.60, up almost 2% today. So way to go. And that was a close back above the 200-day moving average. So nice job, everybody. Those are some great trades. Enigma says, Frank with the trade that will never end. Yeah, that's on he's talking about the NVAX one. Yep. Well, that was a good trade, and still is for sure. What do we have? 130. Frank says, Nigma, I like how Greg stays on my tail over my trail. There you go. There you go. Mamal says, yep, that's right. I took Amazon last Thursday. That's what I thought. Nice deep dip buy, close back over the 200. Nice trade so far, Mamal. Very proud of you. All right. So listen, before we start looking at potential end of day trades, I like to either talk about trader psychology, or I like to talk about posts that are just some good trading words of wisdom. And this is Julian Komar at blog Julian Komar on Twitter. It's an excellent channel. Julian's a professional trader from Germany. I've been following him for a long time. I would suggest you do the same thing. He always has good information, good tips, good trading words of wisdom, like I said, right? So let's see what Julian has to say today. Don't chase extended stocks. They will pull back and throw you out of your trade. If you miss a trade, no worries. There will be another opportunity. Most trends last much longer than you think. So, you hear me talk about this all the time. I do not chase stocks up. There are certain levels where I will not buy anymore. But one of my mainstays, one of my trading approaches that I use the most, is a return to value V1 or V2, or in other words, just a return into the value zone. So, if you want to get into a stock and it's already extended by quite a bit, you don't have to chase it. It's going to come back to the value zone. Even if you don't use a V1 or a V2 to get it, it's still a much better, less expensive price if you just wait for it to come back into the value zone instead of chasing something up at the second, third, fourth ATR. And what will happen is, if most of the time, if you buy up there, it will come back to the value zone. That's probably going to be your stop. You'll probably get out, and it'll probably move right back up. So if you want to get into a stock and you've missed the run, be patient. Wait for it to pull back to value. And like Julian says, most trends last longer than you think. So let's give it one more time. Don't chase extended stocks. They will pull back and throw you out of your trade. If you missed a trade, no worries. There will be other opportunities. Most trends last much longer than you think. So good advice, Julian. Thank you for that. That was helpful for me to read, and I hope it was helpful for you as well. Ava, hi Ava. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Ava says, hi Greg and everyone. TGX has a 520 EMA crossover. Well, let's look. It does. However, I don't know if it backtests well. I think we have time. Let me do a quick little backtest on this to see if it's even possible for me to do a backtest on this. TJX. Okay, it is on here. 520 exponential cross. Doesn't backtest very well, Ava. Here it is. TJX 520 exponential cross. Buy and hold made 3,834%, but using the crossover only 84%. And the drawdown was actually larger than buy and hold, which is rare to see. So that right there just doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence to use the 520 crossed on that particular stock, to be honest with you. At least that's how I analyze it. All right, just give me a couple seconds. All right, I'm just going to do a quick run through one more time on my current positions. Everything's looking good on Berkshire. It did reject it did get up to 65 RSI. So at this point, I will go into, I'm still in trailing stop mode. But because it's above 60, because it got above 65 RSI, my trailing stop at this point will now be the 5 EMA. Either it's going to close below the 5 EMA, in which case I'll get out of everything, or it will keep moving up, reject the 70, I'll sell half. After it rejects the 70, if I get another close below the previous day's low, I will get out of the remaining amount. So anyway, nothing to do here. This one's looking good. Bud, of course, is my new monthly trade. Doing well. Nothing I have to worry about here at the moment. Clove, slightly underwater now by about 6 cents, but still holding my end of day stop. So I will continue to hold this until further developments. GPN, 520 crossover and the V2 and the false breakout to the downside. This is up nicely today. Has not reached my 1.5 ATR trailing stop level, so I'm not in trailing stop mode yet. So this one is fine. Light, this is my weekly trade. Return to value, sideways motion, V1, bought it at 91.74, it's 93.45. This one is looking fine. This is weekly trade, so I'll make my decisions at the end of the week on Friday. Netflix, doing fine. I'm in trailing stop mode, but I have not closed below the previous day's low. I have not rejected the 50 RSI. I have not rejected the 50 SMA, so no profit targets today, but still nicely up on the trade, and so this will be a hold as well. The Qs did not get to 65 yet, did we? I don't think we did. No, 62.73. So I am in trailing stop mode here with a close below the previous day's low. I would sell another half. If we get up to 65 RSI and we get a close below the 5 EMA, I would get out of everything. So this is fine. Hopefully this will go up and test the 70 RSI. SPY, of course I have this programmed in. I will be buying SPY again at the close, holding it overnight, selling it first thing tomorrow morning. SSO did not quite, oops. Let me make sure. We didn't hit the 70, right? 68.71, pretty close, but it is above the 65 RSI. So tomorrow, if we go up, reject the 70, I would get out of half. If I get a close below the previous day's low, I would get out of the other half. Or if it closes below the 5 EMA, I'll get out of that. And then Walmart really beat me up today, hit my emergency stop, which has not happened for a long time, but it does happen, so that is why you have to have one. And I am already out of Walmart because it hit my emergency stop. All right. Ava says, thank you for the TJX backtest. You are correct. Frank says, Larry Williams is bullish on Walmart, Shopify, and Costco for April. That is good. Larry's a smart guy. I studied with him. And he is definitely a smart guy for sure. So, you know, do I want to buy Walmart with this big move up? Rejection of the third ATR channel, even though we have closed above the 200. No, I think Walmart beat me up enough today already, so I'll probably just let that one go. Shopify, a little too extended for me. It had already rejected the 50 RSI, which is not a great sign. Costco very strong today, 66 RSI, a little chasey for me up at these levels, but nicely. I mean, we're above the third ATR channel, which is good. Very often you have a hard time with the third ATR channel. 92% of prices fail there, but yeah, this is very strong today. Very strong to be above the third ATR channel, but too chasey for me. All right, let's take a look. All right, MasterCard has a 520 crossover that does backtest well. It's 362.84 to 362.71. Well, 362.94 at this point. So this is a valid crossover. I like that we had a fractal here. A fractal is a high that has two lower highs to the left and two lower highs to the right. So we have broken out of, we have triggered the fractal today. In addition, we have the 520 crossover. We are over the 50 RSI. This does backtest well. This is probably one of my more favorite trades today. CGC. Canopy growth. I really don't see anything here that interests me on CGC. Pod. It's a V1, but it did not wash out the previous low by much. Looks like we did close back above the 50, but this looks pretty range bound to me right here. So I don't see anything on pod. Nike having a pretty good day, but no clear signals on Nike. Clove is one that I already have. I imagine the scanner picked this up because this is a higher low V1 back in the value zone. MACD is positive. I don't think I would take this from this V1. I don't believe the washout was adequate of a quarter ATR. But I am already in the trade based upon another signal, but I do not believe I would be interested in taking this if I did not already have it. Philip Morris was a V2 in the value zone. It has untriggered. There's no sideways motion. Rejected the 1 ATR channel. That doesn't interest me. BTI, it's a V2, but it's much too high. I don't like to take V1s or V2s above the 1 ATR channel, so that one does not interest me. SPTN is interesting. We have a V2. Here is day 1, 2, and 3. Day 2 washes out day 1, day 3 closing above day 1's close. 276,000 shares, a little on the light side for me. Did reject the 50-day moving average, which is positive to the downside. I would, if you're looking at Spartan stores here, I would definitely wait and see if we closed over the 50 RSI before I got involved. But it's not bad. It's not bad. MSTR is MicroStrategies. This is the company that owns the Bitcoin. This had a big move up here. However, I would not be chasing it at these levels, and there's no clear entry trigger. Workday has a 520 cross. Let me check real quick and see if I can. What was the symbol there? WDAY. And by the way, I am using etfreplay.com with permission. Let's see. The back test. It does back test positively, but not much. Only 44.3%. That just by itself doesn't get me too excited about that crossover, to be honest with you. Ulta. Nice move into the value zone, but I don't see a clear signal. I'd like to see a pullback, a test of the -1 ATR channel, V1, V2 entry. That's what I would be looking for. Pets. Looks like it was a higher low V1 earlier. Let's see, the close is 34. It's 34.01. So yes, technically it's okay. MACD is positive. We are holding the 200-day moving average. This is all pretty good, but looks like we rejected the 50 RSI already. We're 49.22, and it was at least 50 RSI earlier in the day, it looks like to me. Checkpoint Software, nice big strong move up here, but no clear signal, no crossover, no V1, no V2. VIX, I was looking at this earlier with an under 30, over 30. It did go a deep dip by. It did go under 30 and over 30, but now it's back under the 30 RSI, so that is not interesting anymore. DKNG, I know Kamal was looking at this. Close over the 50-day moving average, tested the 50-day moving average, good risk to reward, but this does look like it rejected the 50 RSI already. Pretty close, 49.83. Twitter, higher low V1. We closed below the value zone, into the value zone. We had 1 day down, reversed down, rejected the -1 ATR channel, and triggered the V1. I'd like it better if we could get over 50 or that 50-day moving average. I don't think I'd be interested in that one. IQ, sideways motion, consolidation. When I see these big down moves and then sideways motion, in my opinion, in my experience, they tend to continue to go down after that. Just some thoughts off the top of my head, but there's no clear signal here. Apple, all right, we do have a 520 crossover on Apple. That is a valid back test. It back tests very, very well. Let's run this over here. 8,452% return using the crossover, 14,911% return using buy and hold, but the drawdown on the crossover was only 58.2% compared to 81.8%. So definitely valid to take Apple on this 520 crossover. So that is definitely another possibility. FCX, that looks like it may have a 520 crossover. That is valid. That looks fairly good as well. NVIDIA, Steve's looking at NVIDIA. Maybe with the 1030 cross, I imagine. This, for me, it's too high though. It's above the second ATR channel. I don't take crossovers if they've rejected the second ATR channel or if they're above the second ATR channel. UTZ, looks like we could have a 520 crossover, but it doesn't look like it is there yet. Let's back test that if I can. UTZ, okay. UTZ. Yeah, this one is unavailable, so I can't backtest that. So I don't know whether or not that does backtest positively or not. But nice move there, and if it does backtest, that would probably be pretty decent. And then Apple with the 520 crossover. Little extended, has the 100-day moving average above on the weekly. Weekly looks good. You know, I may be more inclined to buy this on Friday with the 520 crossover on the week, just because we've had that big run. It doesn't mean it can't continue to run, but it's a little high for me. We have some resistance over here. We have the 100-day moving average. We have the 50-day moving average to the downside. That's all a little concerning for me. Personally, I like MasterCard the best right here with the 520 crossover. So I am going to put MasterCard up here. I'm going to get rid of Walmart. And I'm going to put MasterCard there as my new potential. Morgs, how you doing, Morgs? Good to see you. Hope you're having a nice evening in South Africa. Greg, what do you think of NCLH? It is close to a 520 crossover and back tests well. Don't we have, let's see, NCLH, oh, Norwegian Cruise Line, 2806 to 2811, it does back test well. Let's try it real quick. NCLH. Ugh, bummer. You see, it doesn't have it available, so I don't know if that backtest well or not. Sorry about that. But if it does backtest, then it does backtest. But currently the crossover has not happened either. Apple has a 520 EMA crossover. Yes, it does. I just discussed that. Steve is long NVIDIA at 557.74 using the 10-50-day EMA crossover. Okay, good, Steve. I will get that updated at the end of the day for sure. You know, I have a lot of positions right now, so I am going to just be a little conservative, and as long as the 520 crossover does validate itself at the end of the day, I will be buying MasterCard. All right. Frank says, Greg, can you backtest Avis CMG on the 520 cross? This one can be backtested. 739.1% return on this one. So yes, that one does look pretty good. That does backtest well with the 520 cross. Let's look at it. Chipotle. $1437.86 compared to $1437.12. So yes, it does backtest well, and it is a valid cross. VIX went under 30 and over 30, but it's under now, so can't buy it if it's under 30 RSI. So I'm keeping everything what I have here. I did get out of Walmart with my emergency stop. I will be buying SPY at the close, and I will be buying MasterCard with the 520 crossover as long as the crossover validates at the end of the day. Wow, look at the volatility in QLD. Look at that, Kamal. Remember when I told you that that looked like a shorty? A shorty. This is a V1 false breakout to the upside. I didn't take the trade, but I guess I should have, huh? There was definitely some money to be made in that. Okay, we have about 6 minutes. Steve says, correction, I'm long NVIDIA at 557.74 on the 10-30 day EMA crossover. Okay, instead of the 1050. Yeah, so the 10-30 EMA crossover. Let's look at that one. NVIDIA. Yep. And there it is. There's the crossover that Steve's talking about. The 1030 just barely crossed. Just a little high for me, though. It's over the second ATR channel. Doesn't mean it can't go up, and I hope it does for Steve. All right, so I'm just going to wait a few more minutes before I buy MasterCard. Let's take an intraday look and see what's happening. Came right into the value zone and bounced, right? TLT making a high on the day, which are bonds. So that's actually good. When the price goes up, interest rates go down. 520 crossover on MasterCard still looks good. Also has triggered the fractal today of the high with the two lower highs to the left and the two lower highs to the right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and buy MasterCard right here. All right. And then at the end of the day, I'll get my overnight SPY trade. We'll see how that works out. So it looks like the Qs are coming down here at the end of the day. Bonds are making a high. Ooh, guess I should have waited on MasterCard, huh? 1 minute to go. Thirty seconds. Okay. Market is closed. I bought SPY at 406.36. All right. So my two new entries, MasterCard, I bought at 368.54 with the 520 crossover. And I bought SPY at 406.36 on the overnight SPY trade. $406.36. All right, that's it. Done and done. So listen, if any of my students have any new entries or exits today that they would like me to update on the board, if you could go ahead and put them in the live stream chat now, and I will get to them in just a minute. We'll get them all updated. Just real quick, just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I teach a really good course. It's 15 hours, one-on-one, just you and I, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. That's where you get the 15 total hours. I teach you all 5 of my trading approaches that you can use in about any market condition that there is. If you take the course, I know you're going to be a better trader. I work very hard in the course. It's very important to me that my students do well, and I will teach you step by step every single approach that I use. We'll do a lot of simulation trades just so I know that you know how to do it. So if you are interested, all you have to do is send me an email. The email is in the description of the video. All you have to say is, hey Greg, I'm kind of interested in possibly taking your course. I'll reach back out to you and say, great, let's do a Skype call. During the Skype call, it's free. I just want to learn more about you and your trading and your goals and your trading challenges and what you hope to achieve. It's also a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. And when we're done with the call, obviously you can think about it as long as you want. And then if you decide you want to schedule it with me, just get back in touch and we'll get it all scheduled up. Secondly, speaking of courses, I do have another option. I did just create my first online course over on udemy.com. The strategy that I have available there is called the deep dip buy stock trading strategy. You see, a few of the trades I have on right now, the real trades I have on right now, I use that approach. It's 9.5 hours of video, 15 study guides, 26 total videos. It's a great price. It's somewhere between like $12 and $15 on Udemy, and I'll tell you, that's like the best deal in the world because you will know how to trade that deep dip buy strategy if you take it. So if you're interested in grabbing that course, that online course on Udemy, the link is in the description. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you might take the time just to click that little thumbs up button on the way out of here. But only if you found something useful either today or in the past. But if you did, I would appreciate it because it does help build the channel, helps YouTube promote the channel more, keep the channel around, keep it alive. So if you don't mind, I would really appreciate that. All right, so let's go back over now and see who bought what. All right, so Steve bought NVIDIA. All right, Steve bought NVIDIA at 557.74. With the 1030 EMA cross. Is that right, Steve? Let's see. NVIDIA 1030 EMA cross for Steve. Yes. Tracy is in MasterCard. All right. Gary is in MasterCard. David is also in MasterCard. Frank says just a half position on CMG. Sounds good. That's with the 520 cross for Frank. One half position. Steve also bought FCX. FCX. $520 EMA crossover. Okay, I don't have a price there, Steve, so I'm just going to put you at the close here. Okay. Lily is out of Walmart. Okay, good. Walmart was not kind to us today. David says, Greg, when you position size using the 2 ATR, do you care if the position size is larger than 10% of your account? No. No, I don't, David. The more important thing there is that the 2 ATR, takes into account the volatility of the last 20 days. So, if I take my maximum allowed loss divided by the value of the 2 ATR, most of the time it's going to come way under 10%. So I would imagine what you're referring to has to do something that is very sideways motion. But no, I just care about the readings of the volatility, not necessarily the position of the account. Steve says 35.35. Well, I was close. I had it at 35.32. I hope that helps, David. But yeah, I mainly just want to position size based upon the volatility of the last 20 days, 2 standard deviations, or in other words, the two ATRs. Mamal said, no need to put on the board a half position in Walmart on the deep dip buy. Okay, good. So you went long with the close over the 200. Jonathan says, MA today. Okay. And PKI from last week. Oh, that's right. Okay. So let me put that on there for you, Jonathan. David says it does. MA position today was big because of the low ATR. Yep, that's correct. That's correct. But that's the thing, when the ATR is smaller, when the volatility is smaller, you want to buy more shares. When it's larger, you need to account for the volatility and buy fewer shares. But that's an excellent question, though. That really is an excellent question, because that does not happen very often. Usually when you position size with the 2 ATR, your percentage is much smaller than if you just took like a flat 10% percentage, because it kind of overcompensates more for risk. So that's an interesting situation there. But I did the exact same thing. I on MasterCard, I did exactly. I just took my maximum allowed loss and divided it by the 2 ATR, and I noticed that my position size was larger as well. Okay, well, where did we end up? So the Dow ended up 337 points, up 1.13%. The NASDAQ ended up 225 points, up 1.67%, and the S&P ended up 58. So big green day all around, that's for sure. What's going on after hours here? Apple's up 20 cents. BRK's even. Budweiser's even. A lot of even stuff. Dow Jones is up a little bit. MasterCard's even. Netflix down $1. Q's down 5 cents. SPY up 5 cents. And VIX down 7 cents. All right, well, that all seems about right. Miko says, and FYI, your Udemy course is on sale today for $11.99. Great. That's usually about the sales price. So it's definitely worth $11.99, everybody. So, if you're interested, check it out. The link's in the description. I think you will find that it's a good use of your $11.99. All right, so listen. If you have any other questions, type them in. But in the meantime, let me just go over this. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. This is from Martin Kornfeld, and it's pretty simple. We should go out and try to do one nice thing for another human being today. We should also go out and try to do one nice thing for an animal today. If we could do one nice thing for a human, one nice thing for an animal, it's going to make them both feel better, should make you feel better, make the world a better place. So, why not just make it a priority and make it a goal just to do one nice thing for an animal each day, one nice thing for a human. Doesn't have to be big, just a smile, a wave, hello, give them the animal a little treat or a little scratch on the head. They will appreciate it. And hopefully maybe someday, if you need it, somebody will do it for you as well. Bitcoin. Well, there you go. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We didn't have a V1 or a V2, but it just goes to show you. I mean, if we look back at Bitcoin, how many times do you not want to buy Bitcoin when it's above the value zone? Clearly, the time is back when it's in the value zone. Back when it's in the value zone. I don't see anything new here. But it's not closing below previous day's low. It's holding the 5 EMA. It looks decent. I mean, I wouldn't buy it here. I would wait for a deeper dip in the value zone like here and here. Hope that helps, Dan. Mamal says, have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Mamal. Appreciate that. Pleasure having you here. Jonathan says, cheers, guys. Thank you, Jonathan. Have a nice evening. Again, it was great having our lesson last Sunday. Nice meeting your wife on Skype. Please give her my best. And I think that's it for the day. So have a good rest of your day. Be good. Be kind. Do something nice for an animal and a human. Drive safe. And maybe go have some fun as well. It's a beautiful day here in Utah. I'm going to go hiking, and then I am teaching tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. So Carlos, if you're out there, looking forward to our lesson tonight. So, all right. I think that's it, everybody. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Don't forget the thumbs up button, the like button at the bottom there, if you don't mind, before you check out of here. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.